What's up, dude? After 20 years of working as a professional chef, I can tell you that cooking a perfect chicken breast is no easy feat. And that really makes me wonder why so many people are still choosing it over roasting a whole chicken. So today I'm here to give you 7 reasons why a roasted chicken is not just easier, but also one of the best meals that you could ever make. Now let's go! Before we delve into these 7 reasons, I want to give you 2 somewhat unusual tips for choosing and preparing your chickens. Now the first one may seem kind of obvious, but when you buy these chickens in the supermarket, just look at the weight or the price and make sure they're as close to matching as possible. Because personally, whenever I roast chickens, I always like to do 2, and that has to do with reason number 7 that's coming later. When they're the same weight and size, they are gonna cook evenly. Just don't get one that's 2 or 3 ounces bigger than the other. And for my second tip, and this one is definitely unusual, while I'm tempering my chickens, meaning pulling them out of the fridge about 30-40 minutes prior to roasting, what I do is I take this little fan here, any old fan will do, I turn it on high, and I aim it at my chicken, and what I'm trying to do here is create a sort of air-chilled chicken effect. Because the best chickens will always hang in the fridge for a few days so the skin can dry out. When you have dry skin, you have crispy, beautiful, golden, delicious, flavor-packed skin. And while it may not be as good as the traditional method, after about 30 or 40 minutes of blowing on this chicken skin, that moisture does pull out quite a lot, and I do get a better looking chicken. All I do is try to rotate it like this every 10 minutes so it's hitting a new spot. After 40 minutes of tempering and blowing the fan, you can really see that this skin has dried out, it's tightened up, it just looks like a better chicken. But of course, if you don't want to do all that, I really don't blame you. You can always just take some paper towel and just do that. It's still gonna be good, but if you have the foresight, running the fan can be a really good call. Now, the first reason why a roasted chicken is one of the best meals of all time is because it's incredibly easy to do. Now, I'm not sure if you personally are intimidated by roasting a whole chicken, but if you are, you really shouldn't be, because all you need to do is first just hit this skin with a little tiny bit of oil. This is just enough to make the seasoning stick, sort of like you would use mustard when you're making barbecue, like a binder, except it's just oil. And from here, I'm just gonna rain down some salt. And just remember, whenever you're seasoning anything, don't do it down here right above the chicken, because then you're gonna have little salty patches. You wanna go up high so you get that even salt distribution, as well as it kind of looks cool, right? It's fun. On another note, make sure you turn the chicken, get the thighs, as well as holding it up like this and getting that salt inside the cavity, because that will come through. And look, you could stop right there. That's literally all you need. Chicken, little bit of oil, and salt. However, adding some simple aromatics can only do you a lot of good. I like to do a little sprig of thyme straight in the cavity here, some shallot, although onion will be just fine, crushed garlic, and a couple little slices of lemon. Just remember, whenever you're stuffing a chicken or a turkey, you never want to just cram all that stuffing in so there's no airflow from the inside. You need the heat from the oven to get inside there and cook the bird also from the inside out so it will cook evenly. And all you need to do now is get this into a 400-degree oven. That's it. Now compare the skill level it takes to do that versus cooking a perfect chicken breast in a pan. And in my experience of 2 decades of professional cooking, that is the hardest task to pull off in a kitchen. So next time you feel intimidated by roasting a whole chicken, oil, salt in the oven, you haven't done anything. I don't think you've even cooked. So don't get chickened out about roasting a whole chicken. You literally put a little oil, little salt, aromatics in the oven, done. No skill required. My dog could do that, and I don't even own a dog. Reason number 2 is that it's really hard to mess it up. I mean, how many proteins are we cooking that are completely encased in skin and fat and full of bones? I'll tell you how many. It's basically just chicken and turkey. Because of the fat, the skin, and the bones, it's just really hard to overcook it. And even if you do, tip number 5 is gonna save all of that. And after 50 minutes, they are done. That's not 15 minutes, that's 50. Sometimes people hear it 15. Now, before I share my next tip, I don't know about you, but personally, whenever I'm taking supplements, it feels like this chore, and I have a hard time being really consistent with it, which is why I'm really glad I found Grüns, which is the sponsor of today's video. With Grüns, I've gone from dreading to take my supplements to actually looking forward to and enjoying taking my supplements every single day, which is a huge game changer and makes me think I can now do it forever. And look, this isn't a multivitamin or a greens gummy or a probiotic. It's literally all of those things at a fraction of the price. Grüns are a convenient, comprehensive formula packed into 8 gummies per day. And I think it's quite obvious you can't fit the amount of nutrients your body needs into just 1 gummy a day, so Grüns understands you need the full 8 to get the full spectrum. Compared to generic multivitamins, Grüns has over 20 vitamins and minerals and 60 plus whole food, high quality ingredients. And on some exciting news, Grüns has just rebranded, so it's the same exact formula, just in some fun new packaging. And one of the best features of this product is Grüns' ability to be absorbed by the body, because it's more bioavailable in gummy form than it is as a tablet. If you're feeling overwhelmed with all the supplements, vitamins, green powders that your body needs to meet all the daily requirements, then I highly recommend you give Grüns a try. You can get up to 45% off by clicking the link down in the description. Thank you, Grüns, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the tips. Reason number 3 is because a whole roast chicken is one of the most comforting and nostalgic meals of all time. When I smell this permeating the house, I just get that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. It really is something that is special to me. It smells like carefree days. It smells like everything's gonna be all right. It's just something that I'm always gonna love. Reason number 4 is because it gives you some of the best chicken wings ever. This really is the chef's treat. And whenever I roast a whole chicken, it's one for me, one for the wife. The skin, everything is just literally perfect on this wing. I love it. Reason number 5 is that you can make an incredible sauce or gravy from these drippings on the sheet pan. It really is, mwah, chef's kiss. So what I'm gonna do is actually tilt this pan and let the chicken drip out from the inside. It may look a little bloody, it's absolutely fine. We're gonna cook this more because that is gonna become part of our sauce. Now what I'm gonna do is just take off this rack, put it on a burner, then I'll just turn my burner on about medium heat, and I'll put on about half a cup of dry white wine. That's just Pinot Grigio. I don't have an exact recipe for this sauce, you just gotta feel it out. I'll show you how to do it. And once that's hot, just start scraping off all these little brown bits. It's called fond, and it's just those little bits of meat that are stuck on the pan, or the sheet pan in this case. A lot of people throw this away, and it is a crime in any professional kitchen. This is all really the gold. So just take your time, scrape it up, and if you're not into using wine, you can always just do a little splash of lemon juice and white wine vinegar, or leave it out entirely. It's still really good without it. Now we'll set this aside, take another pan or a little pot, medium heat, and I'll start with 2 teaspoons of unsalted butter. And once that butter's about melted, I'm adding some diced shallot. That was 4 little shallots or 2 medium shallots. You could also use onion. And after 3 or 4 minutes, my shallots are just slightly golden brown. I'm gonna add a little strip thyme. Again, if you don't like thyme or you don't have it, don't use it. A little rosemary would be nice. Just 20-30 seconds with the thyme. Now I'm gonna add everything from my pan here. Scrape all these little bits in there. At this point, you can turn the heat up, and we're gonna cook this wine down until it's thick and syrupy. Only took about 4 minutes, and now I'm adding in chicken stock. Whether you use homemade or store-bought is up to you. Although if you are buying it from the store, I really prefer the paste, like better from bouillon. I never really get a good flavor from those cartons. In regards to homemade chicken stock, there's so much gelatin in there that isn't present in those store-bought concentrates, and that really is gonna make your sauce thick and give it a really nice texture. But either way, it'll be fine. After about 5 minutes of reducing, this is looking really nice. I'm going in with about 1.5 teaspoons of Dijon. Careful if you're using salty chicken stock, because that can get too salty. Personally, I put very little salt in my homemade chicken stock because I never know what I'm going to use it in. Let's work that in. Also, Dijon can be kind of hard to mix into sauces, so pick a little section and just try to work it there. At this point, I'm turning the heat all the way down to low, and we're going to finish with a little squeeze of lemon, some Sergeant Gilbert reporting for duty. That's fresh ground black pepper, and about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter. That's really going to cut through the acidity of the wine and the lemon juice and balance out this sauce. So once you work in your butter, give it a taste. Oh baby, wow. Touch more butter for my liking. The flavor is freaking off the charts. Wow. I'll tell you what, I've worked in professional kitchens that have sauces that take 3 days to make. I think I like this more, honestly. This is so good. And there's our chicken breast. After a good 20-minute rest, it's looking nice and juicy. It feels really tender. Let's give our chicken and sauce a taste. Look at that. Really looks like gravy, and there's no flour in here. Some of our chicken down here. I got my right-hand pan here, Marcus, and we are gonna give this a taste. Man, what?
Right-hand man.
Right-hand man. He is a man, not a pan. But before we do that, reason number 6 is you can pull all the meat off of this chicken and then re-roast the bones or not and make a chicken stock out of them. Simply top it off with water, celery, carrot, onion, a little bit of garlic, peppercorns, whatever herbs you might have, and make a stock. This makes it a really low-waste dinner, and I absolutely love that. The sauce is just so perfectly emulsified. Oh yeah, babe. That sauce has character. It's like the Dijon, the little bit of lemon, the wine, the thyme, the pepper. It just pops. I will say, I did put a little too much Dijon for my liking. I might stick to about 1 teaspoon. But just know, you know, I've been cooking for 20 years. I make mistakes all the time. I'm learning every day, and I'm never gonna stop. But it's really good.
I love it. We normally do this with no Dijon, so the fact that it's got a little bit more just lets you know that there's Dijon in it, but it ain't a bad thing.
Mustard and chicken is great. Finally, reason number 7 is that the leftovers are just absolutely incredible. Marcus, what would you make with the leftover chicken?
Chicken salad, I don't know, chicken pot pie.
We didn't even plan
You
this.
could throw a soup together
Boom.
with it. Easy peasy, anything.
Sandwiches, wraps, all the stuff
Throw it
he
in a
said.
salad.
Chicken tinga, throw it in a salad. I
Be a
mean,
little gremlin and eat it right out of the fridge like I will.
that's what I would do as well. Straight up, it really is great to have that leftover chicken in the fridge. And that is 7 reasons why I think a roasted chicken is one of the best meals of all time. Do not be scared to make it. It will always treat you right, my friend. While Marcus finishes up that chicken, if you like written recipes, check out my Master in the Making ebook. It'll be linked down in the description. And it has 55 of my personal favorite recipes. And thank you already to the 2,000 people who have already bought that book. It blows my mind. And if you want to keep learning today, here are 2 more comfort food recipes I think you're really gonna love. Marcus is licking the plate, so definitely try this one. Until next time, you know I love you and I'm out.
See you later.
Thanks again to Gruens, and remember you can save up to 45% off by clicking the link in the description.